As weeks passed and weeks turned into months, I became the V's most valuable asset. Well, when it came to fighting, that was. Sure, they would like to sell their TV, sell their equipment, and even sell other items and things that I can't talk about on YouTube. I had an ace up my sleeve, however. Even though I've been under the V's control and in that blasted suit, I learned how to hack things. I've been watching them make technology. I've been watching them make those robots, making them fighting bots, making them bots for fun, and all that stuff. I had a plan. If I could reprogram all of their electronics, all of the robots, since Vox controls the TVs, I could then rise up and take Vox out. Things had to go foolproof, however. And one day, as I was tampering with my suit to try to get it free from Vox's control, Vox would walk in the room. I would quickly hide my arm. I was scared that he noticed, but Vox would say, "Hey, there's my favorite employee." Look at him and say, "Yeah, master, what do you need?" Vox would smirk and look at me. "You know, since I took you in, I thought you would be trouble. Honestly, I started to regret kicking you in, but I was wrong. You've done nothing but help me, so how about this? Help me out more and there's something good for you." I was thinking about overthrowing him right now, but he's offering me something good. And he has been being nicer the past few months, but I couldn't really trust him. However, I was in no position to try my plan out now, so I had no choice but to listen to Vox. As Vox started to instruct me on what to do, you see, recently the radio demon, a big player around here, suddenly just disappeared. No one knows where he went, and Vox wanted me to try to figure that out. If not, just take the territory. He wasn't a super territorial overlord. He was powerful, don't get me wrong, but many overlords try to rule the entire area, try to take over places, but he didn't really do that. He owned a few clubs here and there, old-fashioned clubs from the 1920s, it seemed like the atmosphere was, but he really didn't try to rule very much, so it would be easy for me to take it over. But Vox sent me and not him, just in case it might be a trap and he's still there. As I walked in, everyone began to look at me. As the bartender says, "You look like you're strong. Why are you here? To take over the place?" Everyone laughed and said, "We're under the radio demon's protection." But just then, I would grab the bartender by the neck as she began to choke. Just then, center demons would surround me. As they all got ready to fight, I would simply just laugh. "You really think you can defeat me?" One of them would say, "It doesn't matter, does it? If we lose, you'll still be Vox's lackey." Suddenly, my eyes began to twitch under my suit. I couldn't believe this. They would insult me like this. I would make them pay. Suddenly, my hand would turn into an angelic weapon, as I would stab straight through the bartender's neck, killing her. As the rest charged at me, I simply dodged all of their attacks. I became very used to this suit. In fact, the suit was painful at first, but when you get used to it, it's not that bad. It conducts fire pretty well, and it even lets me turn parts of my body into angelic weapons. Really, this suit has made me a much sharper fighter. It's true, I'm not as fast as I used to be, but my precision and accuracy has grown, just to say the least. As they would charge at me and fire their weapons, I would easily dodge it, then I would shoot fire, melting them. And as they screamed in pain and agony, I slowly walked over them and began to chop off their heads with my angelic weapon to make sure that they can't come back. As they all were slaughtered, I would simply sit there, taking over the bar, opening it up for everyone to come by. Eventually, Vox would come by and he would start to talk to me. "You know, you've been working with me for quite a while, so I think it's time I give you some power. Now, don't get full of yourself. I know that I can't really let you off the leash. However, I'll give you control of this bar in a couple areas. That way, you'll have your own little economy and your own little infrastructure. Build your name up for just being my puppet, you know?" "Thank you, sir," Vox would say, "no problem," as he walked off. Little did he know that I wanted everything, so I decided to make everything happen. I decided that it was finally time for me to take down Vox once and for all. However, if I told Vox to meet me, it would be suspicious, so I need to come up with a better plan. If I could steal Valentino's phone and give him a call, Vox will think Valentino wants him, so he'll go over to his room to see him. So I waited. I waited and waited for Valentino to leave. Valentino left off to have fun with Angel, and like normal, he didn't tell Vox anything, so it was perfect for me to, well, take advantage of the situation. Valentino had a lot of phones, so all it took was for me to call Vox. And with my voice modulator, I was able to mimic his voice. As I talked like Valentino, I'd say, "Get over here now. It's about Angel. He's making me mad again. Please. Oh my god, before I go on a killing rampage. As I was trying to bait Vox to come over, sounded like a whiny Valentino. Vox would just sigh and say, okay, I'm coming. As I hanged up, I then hid under the bed. As Vox went in, suddenly, robots would come behind him. Now, he didn't really think much of it, since Valentino loved these robots, especially the new models. The new models have certain parts that the old ones didn't, but suddenly, they would shoot him in the back. As Vox would turn around and destroy them, he would fall down bleeding, barely able to stand, as these were angelic bullets. As I went out from under the bed, you probably could beat me, but since you're wounded, you'll have a much harder chance. Vox would look at me and say, "You ungrateful
Hunk of junk. It's thanks to you that you're even alive right now. It's thanks to you that you even survived that incident. And you dare try to speak out against me? You dare try to rise up against me? After everything I've given you? After everything I've done for you? You are so ungrateful!" As Vox would then try to shock me, but it didn't work. As I laughed and said, "It was easy for me to learn my suit and all the robotic parts. Sure, I wasn't the best when it came to technology because of the time period I was born, but learning isn't the hardest thing in the world, especially when you got time." Vox would get up and began to shoot electricity at me, but he was injured severely, so his electricity didn't do much, as suddenly I shot him with fire, as he fell to the ground and began to burn and scream out, as I laughed and said, "Stop being a whiny little..." Well, you know the word. I would say it, but you guys cussed so many times it became uncouth and annoying, so I decided to change my vocabulary, just to spite you, to sound more sophisticated, considering how Vox would say, "Shut the hell up. You're so annoying. I can't believe I even trusted you." Trusted me, you had a shock collar on my neck. I think it's time I put an end to you. As I picked up Vox, Vox would start to beg for his life. Please, I'm sorry. If you let me go, I would say, shh, it's too late for that, and you know it. As then, I would shove an angelic sword down his throat, as it would go straight through his stomach, killing him. As I dropped his lifeless body to the floor, I then began to laugh. As I did it, I defeated Vox. But now I have two choices. I can go against Valentino, try to destroy everything the bees have built. But why would I do that? After all, if I just take over Vox's inventory, I can make a lot of money. So then I would call Valentino. Valentino would then answer and look at me and say, "What's wrong, Voxy Woxy? Wait a second, you're not Vox." I would then laugh and say, "I got rid of him, destroyed him." Now, I have two options. I could go to war with you, but I don't want to do that, because I have no interest in running your, well, terrible business. Just disgusting. Ugh. But it brings me lots of money, so I decided I could just work with you like Vox did. How about it? Valentino would smirk. He was a little mad that I got rid of Vox. However, he saw an opportunity, so he agreed, as me and him became business partners. As me and Valentino would meet up, he would decide to get me a gift. As Valentino looked at me and said, "You said my business was disgusting, but we are in this business together, so I figure you should enjoy the fruits of our labor." I would look at Valentino and say, "What are you talking about?" As suddenly Angel Dust would walk next to me. "This is my finest employee, and he has the finest body. Maybe you could have some fun." I would look at Valentino and say, "Ew, you really think I'm that disgusting? Besides, what makes you think I'm gay?" Angel would sit on my lap and say, "Oh, I don't know if you're gay, but trust me, you like more than just women." As he would wink at me, I would start to blush under the suit. It's been a long time since I got affection, and even though this disgusted me at first, I am no longer alive, and it's not like I've done great things down here, so this wouldn't be the biggest of deals. I sighed and said, "Very well," as I took Angel to my room, and we, well, As the time passed, I would look at Angel as we cuddled in bed, as then he got up and left.
maybe Valentino's life wasn't so bad. I mean, after all, it may be disgusting, but it's not like we're angels down here. And that is going to leave things off. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will never do Fallout again because you all hated that video apparently. And it's sad. I expected it wouldn't do good, but I didn't expect it to do that bad. And to be honest with you, I love Fallout more than Hazbin, more than Dragon Ball, more than anything. Fallout's kind of like my favorite franchise. Sometimes I even thought I missed out by not making a Fallout channel instead of the channel I have now. But it's no big deal. I still love this stuff, and I'm glad you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Peace out.